had requests for a closer look at doing ombres out of potted gels and using a brush. So first thing we're gonna do is we're actually gonna start with our brush. If you're using potted gels that are highly pigmented, you're gonna get really streaky if you don't wake up that brush, especially the first time you buy it, in gel. So I'll use like a base coat, right? Or you can use a gel cleaning, a brush cleaning gel. But what I'm looking for is that flexibility. If it's separating, your bristles are separating, that's where you're gonna get streakiness working out of a pot. So keep working till it doesn't separate, and you'll sometimes see old color come out of it. And that's great. Usually gel pushes the color up, so the side's clean and pushes up. So we just want to keep gel in our brush for those reasons so that we get a nice, easy, clean application. So for this, I've chosen a couple colors that will bleed well into each other. And this is a monochromatic look because it's fall. So I have like a chocolatey color and like an almond color. And these are great across all the nails. They're also really great as an accent nail. And since we're going to be doing a vertical ombre, it's less complicated and it will go a little easier for you with these pigmented gels. So I'm going to start with the darker color. And I'm actually gonna wanna work it into my brush. So I'm just gonna take my lid, since I know that this won't like drip or anything, and I'm gonna work that color into my brush. I'm less likely to get major streaks. You'll see your brush strokes and then they settle down when you're applying, but I want to work that color into my brush, especially for this technique. I'm gonna grab some color for the nail. Less than you think you need, you can always come back for more. So what I'm going to do here is focus on this left side of the nail. So I'm going to create, watching the right side of my brush, a line going down all the way. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to go up and kind of work my cuticle around my skin area, just a little tap so that I have it tight. And then start distributing that product. If you're using product like this, Japanese gel is highly pigmented. There is a little drag to it, and we love that about it, but it will feel different. Okay, so we have one side coated in that. Do not cure that. I'm gonna take a wipe and just kind of wipe off and squeegee off that color. I'm not actually going to clean between much because we are in same color tones. I am going to pick up some of this product, work it through this brush a little bit, and I'm just doing it on one side because if there's any remaining dark on the other side, this gel will push it up through, so I actually don't end up transferring the darker to the lighter side. So now that's worked through. I'm going to grab a little bit more. And I'm gonna first focus over here. You can drop your product down, but my focus is gonna be working along that side wall, kind of pushing product up at an angle up towards the center and tracing the outside of my edge of my nail. And then same here, I'm working it up around the skin of the client. And then I'm gonna pull through. And then it's really important to give yourself a lint-free wipe down here. So I'm going to wipe this product off. And now we have this distinctive line. I'm going to start up here and start taking just little brush strokes straight through the line. Straight through the line. I don't go side to side at all. If I were to go side to side, it could blend it a little bit, but really you may end up with unevenness. And then I'm going to wipe my brush off. You can go the other direction. Sometimes that is helpful for people. But I find if I just stay right here in the center with these highly pigmented gels, and I can kind of move to the side if I need to, but just pull vertical strokes and then let it settle, we end up with a really beautiful ombre. See if I can get that really focused. That looks really subtle where we're going from chocolate to lighter. Now we have a little piece up here that got a little lighter than I wanted. So before I cure, I'm just gonna pull some of that darker over it and work my way to the side, and then I can pull through the center again. Just checking where things are. You're gonna feel that drag. Now, a lot of times, you're good to go with one layer. I'm just adding a little bit of light over here. You're good to go with one layer. If you want a second layer to really smooth that out, then you're gonna wanna cure. You're gonna wanna cure that. Sometimes over an ombre, it can be really helpful to put like a sheer color in that tone, like a super sheer, taupey, creamy color over this could be really helpful if you wanted it for a blend. And I'll show you the 2 layers here and you can decide if that's something you want. But I'm gonna go through now just really quickly. This process can actually go quite quickly and just kind of give you a more real-time application, always being conscious of the skin on the side and then my straight line through the center. I wipe off, I grab the other color. I'm gonna focus heavily on along their skin and over here on the edge before I start blending. And then I'm just gonna come through and do little strokes, kind of through the center and then to the side and to the side. And she's beautiful. Let us settle for a second. This is actually pretty seamless. But I always like to settle it and then put it in. So this is one of the top sellers in this line. And you see how it's kind of in that tone. And when you lay it down, it's super sheer. So if you feel like you had a little bit of lines, you don't love it, you want it to be a little more seamless, really thin layer of a color in that color zone. So if it was a pink one, I'd be using like a pink sheer. I've used white sheer to adjust, whatever, but you lay that sheer color over. Let it settle, and it's taking away as it settles a lot of those discrepancies and creates a real clear illusion to the eye with that ombre. And of course we used fall to fall colors here, which are so pretty. I'll cure this and then top coat it. Now I feel like there's strong opinions on ombres of glossy versus matte finishes. So let's take a look at this glossy finish. I love how that's such a subtle ombre, such a cool trend for fall. Go make this your own magic.